Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast of Yakuza. Drunken Dan, Train, Sabo's dead. Again.
Never around Stan.
Then watch him just randomly show up in the middle of the recording again.
Well, yeah. We can only hope.
Mess up everything.
Everything's already messed up anyway.
That's true.
Like, the MCU's kind of fucked itself now.
Oh, you mean they accidentally spoiled the thing that I already picked up on because of the fucking poster?
I mean, the fact that they've said that, I know it's called Far From Home, but I just kind of want to call it The Downcoming. That they said Downcoming happens after Infinity War. And oh look, Spidey-Man is still alive. And also Jake Gyllenhaal is just playing Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's like, I don't understand why people really want to, like, kind of say, oh, this is a great Spider-Man movie, because this is because, like, I've never seen any of the Spider-Man characters ever handled in, like, any kind of respected way in these films. Like,
no, they really haven't.
Like, none of them are genuine or feel like, I'm not saying they're necessarily bad characters, but they're not like the Spider-Man characters, and it feels really like like, at the end of the day, I could say, yeah, Captain America is as he should be. Tony Stark is as he should be. Most of the
Spider-Man's the only one where they kind of did this too.
like, but it's just so consistent that they've taken like every aspect of his like mythos and character and his rogues gallery and just broken them down, and just basically like created an entirely new cast of characters and then slapped their familiar names on them. It's like, no, I don't think that guy from Homecoming, who, yeah, Michael Keaton, was Adrian Toomes. No, I don't think that, this version of Spider-Man is Peter Parker. And this version of Mysterio they've got certainly does not look like any Mysterio I've ever seen. Because,
yeah,
it's like, what the fuck are you doing Mysterio if you're not actually doing Mysterio?
Someone made a joke saying, man, this new Prince of Persia game looks weird. Or Prince of Persia movie, I think it was.
It's just...
But, yeah, like, it doesn't help that, too, that, like you say, he's not like Parker, he's like Iron Man's sidekick, and they're turning Iron Man into his fucking, they're turning Iron Man into his, Uncle Ben.
Like I said, it's so
which makes it even more fucked, because in their thing, they're like, oh yeah, Uncle Ben was this thing, and he did die, but that doesn't matter. Tony Stark.
It just feels so disingenuous that there's for no apparent reason, Spider-Man's the one who just does not get to have any resemblance to, like, anything that's come before. And I'm all for new iterations, but, like, I prefer those iterations when they have, at least, when they are being new. Like, Noir is pretty solid, all things considered, but that was entirely different.
Yeah.
It wasn't just trying to, like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. It's like it's trying to operate off of like, using all the Spider-Man names and recognizable, like, aspects without actually doing Spider-Man.
Right. But, like, this is, like, it does feel like Spider-Man is a second-class citizen, the way that they built him in this fucking
Spider lives
MCU.
matter, goddammit.
Like, they just basically, like, let's just take Spider-Man, but then just take his powers and nothing else about it.
Get to the back of the Quinjet, Pete.
Peter,
yes, in Avengers Tower, he has his own drinking fountain.
They should just fucking call him, like, fucking Iron Lad and just be done with it.
Just make him Miles, and then this stops being an issue. Well, okay, like, the villain's not being right is still an issue, but, like, whatever. I can accept that if I get at least, like, a character I can give a shit about and not just constantly be reminded of, oh, right, there are significantly better Peter Parkers out there.
A lot of better ones.
Basically, every other version of Peter Parker is Peter Parker.
Yeah, this is the only one where it's not. It's,
as I said,
the fucking making Tony his Uncle Ben is really pissing me off. It really pisses me the hell off.
So disingenuous, as I said. It feels like it's I mean, it's not really made by people who give a shit, it's clear, but it feels bizarre how they can at least pretend to give a shit for everyone else except Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Gonna make our own new thing that's separate.
Like, they have, like for example, like with Captain Marvel, even though they casted literally the actress with the least charisma they could find, they, at least have, like, nods and shit to her comics, like with the fucking weird, like, alien cat that she has. Oh, sorry, spoilers. But, they couldn't be bothered to, like, make Peter Peter. They just made him Iron Man's sidekick. And it doesn't even feel earned. Because, like the whole, like, him doing responsibility thing doesn't feel earned because Tony hasn't learned a goddamn thing. So even if you were to try and,
That's
like,
not
say this
true.
in this
Tony learned how
iteration-
to steal storylines.
Oh, yeah, he did.
First he stole...
Multiple
Yeah,
times.
first he stole Ant-Man storyline, and then he stole Adam Warlock storyline.
And also, now he's gonna be stealing fucking Uncle Ben's. So, you know, another storyline for him to steal. I've honestly grown to fucking hate Iron Man.
Well, he's gonna be gone after this one.
Oh yeah, I know, but like the effect is still gonna be there. Like Iron Man was always that character that I remember you liked him, and I was always kind of like, I'm not really big on him. And I grown to just slowly hate him. He's one of those characters, even if you look at his history in the comics, it's like, why haven't we just murdered this man yet?
Like, he's always been a jerk, but him being a jerk was kind of what made him endearing. But the point was when, like, in the early, back then, when he was a jerk, nobody really, like, people always called him out on it. Like, there was never a sense of, like, man, Tony is, just has to say he's sorry, begrudgingly say he's sorry, and then it all is forgiven. It was...
I think one of my favorite dumb things that they do in the comics, though, are sometimes where they try to make it like, oh no, he was right when he did something fucking dickish, or like, this isn't Tony, but one of my favorite fucking scenes in when they did that really shitty Avengers versus X-Men storyline, which, by the way, watch, the movies will do that storyline, and then we'll have it happen again in the comics.
Avengers versus X-Men 2, The Quickening.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. We have Infinity Gauntlet too. So, you know, it's gonna fucking happen.
I mean, big crossover events were the kind of, like, beginning of the comic books, just losing all creativity anyway. So when we thought we'd hit rock bottom, they found a way to, you know, sink even lower by just remaking the fucking shit comic book storylines.
And the funny thing is, like, all of those fucking storylines, too, it's like, they're always like, let's just have heroes fight each other. Like, Marvel's really guilty of this, to the point where I'm like, why don't the Marvel hero villains just be like, alright, they're all gonna fight? Cool. While they're fighting, let's just take over the world. You'd think, like, Doctor Doom would just be like, oh, this is a perfect time to just make everything Doom.
He would, but then, like, every time, you see what happens is every time there's, like, gonna be a hero fight, Reed Richards just, like, sends him fake nudes of Sue Storm, and that distracts him for, like, 6 weeks. I mean, that should honestly just be the default response to every, like, Fantastic Four villain.
I mean, yeah, like, literally all of them want to fuck Sue Storm.
It's like, yeah, it's just 6 out of 10.
It's just kind of funny, like, literally every fucking antagonist in Fantastic Four wants to bang Sue Storm.
You know what, though? Thank fuck DC got an Aquaman movie out, because it might prevent Marvel from making a Submariner movie.
There's a couple things that might prevent that, but you're right.
I mean, I'll take as many things as I can get that will stop Namor getting anything. I fucking hate Namor.
I feel like it's like a ticking clock before he shows up, and then we all are like, why? I think the worst part is that he's overall more popular than Aquaman.
Ugh, no he isn't. It's just that Marvel is more popular than DC, and everyone has the whole idea of Aquaman is just dumb fish guy, and Namor is like cool badass. It's like, no, Namor's a fucking idiot stalker who just... Ugh,
He's an idiot stalker while Aquaman's a fucking king.
Aquaman... No, so let's put it this way. Namor never gets to bang Sue Storm. Aquaman has fucked Wonder Woman at least once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a shit storyline.
Then again, what's that?
Like...
Then again, with how many times they just give Wonder Woman to people, does that really mean anything anymore?
Just the
like that'd be like saying like, oh yeah, I fucked Josie from Josie and the Pussycats. That doesn't matter anymore.
Oh, I mean, even the studios
old.
fucked her.
Fuck, you're right.
But did better than Gem ever did, though.
That's not hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally outrageous. Totally outrageous. But is she truly outrageous? Truly,
Anything,
truly?
anything
I
outrageous
it, but...
was the ticket sales.
What I'm thinking of, though, in my head when I was saying that was there was this Robot Chicken skit where they had her, like, using a urinal. It was obviously with one of the dolls.
Yes.
But that's what I was fucking thinking of. But, I am glad that the DC movies are getting a bit better. I think it's funny, though, because they're becoming a little more lighthearted. Obviously, they are trying to do it because Marvel's doing it, but at the same time, DC in the comics is usually the more lighthearted one. Marvel was, like, the edgy one for years.
Ah, well.
Never forget, there's an officially published Marvel storyline. It's an Otherworld story where Spider-Man killed Mary Jane with radioactive cum. Yeah. Never forget, that was a fucking plot.
I mean,
because it was.
I feel we've kind of gone over a lot of the really bullshit plots that have happened over the years.
Oh yeah, we've gone through most of them. I think a lot of the funniest ones, like Peter Parker giving birth to himself.
I mean, beyond that, it just gets sad.
Super Horse, Aricia. I'll just say her name, and everyone that's heard us say it 100 times knows. Literally every Fantastic Four villain's a fucking creep for Susan Storm, which we just said a minute ago. I think we've mentioned the whole Carol Danvers thing.
Which thing? There are many. Oh, I mean the one where she gets raped by an alien to give birth to himself, so he can travel through time to then rape his mother. Because
that one.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Marvel. I wonder if that will make
That's one of movie. That's one of her most significant storylines.
Yes. It's almost like Jessica Jones's most significant storyline.
Yeah, and even in the fucking show, they touched on that. If I'm not,
it devotes an entire season to her storyline because it's her only storyline. In fact, I didn't like Jessica Jones, so I didn't watch season 2. But I'm pretty sure season 2 is also about that one time she got raped.
Probably, because that's literally her entire character.
No. Her entire character is one time she got raped by Purple Man, and then she married Luke Cage.
You notice that this happens a lot in Marvel? I'm just saying.
I mean, what, rape?
Where like a lot of the women's significant storyline is rape.
No.
Remember how I was saying that they're the edgy one?
Because rape is serious, Dan. Rape isn't funny.
Like, they do it so much. I don't think they've done it in a long time, thankfully, but they did it so much, especially like in the 90s and the 80s. Oh wait, no, they even did it in the 2000s, because I think Ultimate Marvel did it a couple times, because of course they did.
I know DC turned Dr. Light into like a super rapist.
Oh, recently?
Not recently, it was a few years ago. I think it was like he raped one person, and then because it's comic books and like every action becomes the defining trait of a character, it became like his entire.
Oh, that Dr. Light.
Not the woman Dr. Light, not the good Dr. Light, the villain Dr. Light. Yeah, I know it's confusing that the same company has the same name for for two completely different characters.
Yeah, I was like thinking, like, wait, when did she? I forgot about that.
What?
Fucking
No, women
asshole.
can't.
And yeah,
women can't rape people.
That was literally.
You misogynist.
I mean, no, they can.
You misogynist.
How does that make me a misogynist?
Implying women are anything but perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
I mean, depends who you talk to.
No, nobody is perfect.
Oh no, Cell's pretty perfect.
I mean, yeah,
also,
but
why are you here? Broly's out
Cell.
today.
Because I'll probably watch it when it comes out on DVD or something.
You don't want to see Broly.
No, I'll watch it. I'll just wait until it's on DVD.
So they can fix the animation when they make their inevitable fuck-ups. I honestly wonder what's the point of
Oh, did
watching anime live anymore, because you just wait for the Blu-rays where they'll fix the problems that they missed.
did they fuck stuff up?
I
with
don't
it or
know.
something?
I'm just thinking because, like,
I know that's what happened with like Sailor
well, I
Moon.
know JoJo Part
with,
4 had
Crystal.
that a lot as well. And Dragon Ball Super has some pretty abysmal animation in points that they fixed in the Blu-rays.
Oh, especially in the early parts of the series.
Yeah, the parts where they didn't even need to bother animating anyway because nobody gave two fucking shits.
Yeah, they really should have just skipped it. They really should have.
Just jump straight.
You know, like the manga did.
Just jump straight to the fucking Universal Tournament arc. And then we probably would have been done with Super at this point in the West.
Nope. There's gonna be more Super after this.
Dragon Ball
more.
is just gonna turn into the Japanese Simpsons.
Hey, you wanna know who you can blame for Dragon Ball Super?
Toriyama?
Yes, but also, the reason what inspired him to start writing and do Battle of the Gods was Dragon Ball Evolution because he fucking hated it.
I feel like they were like quite a few years apart from each other though.
Yeah, I know, but apparently this is true. And it's really funny to me. So Battle of the Gods
I mean,
is because Toriyama was so fucking pissed when they snubbed
live
him.
action anime will never work, so why should he care? Like, the Death Note movie, that fucking failed.
They all do, and I think the next one's Battle Angel. Isn't that the one that's
Battle
coming
Angel
out?
Elite, that's coming out. Ghost in the Shell.
Where they made her, where they like CGI'd her eyes really big, and it looks fucking weird.
And then Netflix is doing their live action Cowboy Bebop rendition.
Oh, that's gonna be fucking great.
Yeah, I can't wait for what will inevitably just be a Firefly clone. So I've said
I mean, you're not
I've
wrong.
said before, like, Cowboy Bebop kind of works because it's this beautiful accident. Like, there's no element,
There's a lot of shows like
but
that.
like the fact that it's not ever trying to be anything more than what is fundamentally a toy commercial.
Cowboy Bebop?
Yes, so the only reason Cowboy Bebop happened is because Takara or I forget, maybe it was Bandai, were like, "Hey, Sunrise, we want you to make an anime that like sells these ship toys. We don't care what you do, just make it about these ships."
Oh, okay. I
So
did
then
not
they
know
went,
that.
okay, and then they made Cowboy Bebop. I mean, the ships in basically every episode, so.
I did not
But yeah,
know
that's
that.
how
Huh.
that's Cowboy Bebop. It didn't start off as like this grand plan of like of revolutionizing anime and like culture and whatnot. It was literally just, well, we've got basically free reign to make a show. Just have to have spaceships.
Huh. I did not know that. That's pretty cool, though. It takes a lot of talent to, you know, make something that's basically.
Oh, I know. I'm not
commercial and
saying.
do that.
I'm not trying to.
Oh no, I know you're not. I'm just saying. Like that takes a lot of talent. Like that's pretty kind of. That's actually really cool. I'm just kind of
A
stammering.
lot of it probably stems from the fact that they just said we don't care what you do, just as long as the ships are in it. So, a lot of toy
just sell.
commercials have like
Just sell the toy,
restrictions like Transformers and such.
or even like the Power Ranger stuff, where they're like, "All right, show the bikes in one
Yes.
episode, and then sell the toys."
Probably guess just because it was like a commission just to do one show as opposed to like part of a larger franchise.
I think one of my favorite things, though, one of my favorite stories being like trying to make toys out of things was that you know that episode of Superman with Mixie Pixelic.
Mixus Pitalik.
You remember the that like stupid robot that he had for like 5 seconds?
Vaguely.
So so was it the animator made that robot because he was hoping they'd make a toy of it because he just wanted a figure of Mixie?
Did it work?
No, unfortunately.
Did we at least
he
get a
was
figure
sad.
of Mixie's wife?
No, you gotta remember, especially back then, even more so than now. They toy companies had this like thing where they're like, "Oh, female figures don't sell. That boys won't want to buy them."
Ironically, they were just looking in the wrong region.
But yeah, that's why like in a lot of older toy lines, you would sometimes just not have any of the female characters get them. In fact, one of my favorite like examples of this isn't like a super old one, but I think it was called Skyriders or something like that. there was the female character in it was honestly one of the most important characters in the show, and she was one of the frontline fighters. She never got a figure, but the fucking pilot, who doesn't do shit, and is just a scared, wispy little green man, he had a figure.
Ah, well.
And that was always the funniest thing to me, because I'm like, wait.
It's okay.
I don't remember the name. I remember it was on Toonami. It was like a CGI cartoon.
What year was it? I mean, I guess it must have been like...
I was like in high school still, so it had to have been like somewhere like around like 07, 06, 08.
Ah,
Maybe even a little bit later.
the golden years.
But yeah, but I remember that happened, and I just thought that was funny. I was like, wait, why didn't she have a figure? She's like the second most important fighter. Like, what's going on? But yeah, that's the thing with toy companies, apparently, and it's really
Probably
funny to
changed
me.
a bit now.
Yeah, you see them more often now, where they won't do that, but sometimes they still do shit
I know,
like that.
as if they
like,
didn't do fuck it.
Because sometimes they'll be like, wait, but our things are selling to not the demographic we want. And it's like, so we're going to stop making them. It's like, why? If it's selling, who cares? You're making money, you useless idiot.
Well, you see.
Who cares if it's not the
Well,
demographic
you see, Dan,
wanted?
it's all about the white male, the white men patriarchy, which we as white men use to keep other minorities down.
Except that's actually what it was. I think it was like Young Justice. Like, their stuff was selling more with girls. And they're like, but we want the boys buying it.
Well, if you want the boys to buy it, you're gonna have to, like, put some more effort in, DC.
But yeah, that was just the funniest thing, is that it was more popular with girls, so they got pissed about it. Actually, the same thing happened with Teen Titans. No, not the current one. The one from like the mid 2000s.
Well, it probably helps.
The one that was like super. The one that was super anime as hell.
Ah, yeah. So they even like paid Japanese artists to do anime intro.
The opening theme.
And it's like, huh.
And sometimes they would even like play it in Japanese rather.
Never
than
get
English.
away with that today.
Nah.
That'd be cultural appropriation at its finest.
Well, remember they also had a show starring those two. They like had like one season
Yes,
or two. I think.
Surprised at that. It felt really odd. I guess like production company people are just massive fans.
Because they were really popular at that time in the States. Like they would actually be able to hold concerts and shit here.
Fair enough. Good for them, I guess. It's nice to see other artists break out into new areas.
Yeah.
No Jam Project though.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Jam Project is too powerful.
They used to be. Kinda.
Oh, what happened?
Nothing. Just, you know, a lot of their recent songs haven't been as great as they were before. It's like they still do good music overall. It's just, eh.
I mean, I've heard some of their recent stuff, like from themes, and I think they're good.
As I said, it's nothing like bad. It's just not quite as good as we've come to see from them. So it's like, ah.
I still like the One Punch Man theme. It's really
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I know, like, Divine Blade's one of the new ones. I like that one. I don't know what it's from. I just it showed up in my recommend. I was like, oh, let me listen to this.
But yeah.
Okay, let me just beat this guy with a bat. But yeah, it's I don't know. Where were we again? I lost my train of
Probably
thought.
talking about comic books.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about that, but
I don't know. I just don't see how people have interest in Spider-Man: The Downcoming.
I have no interest in anything the Marvel Cinematic Universe makes for Spidey-Man. Because it's not Spidey-Man. You can call him Spider-Man until you're blue in the face, but that's not Spider-Man.
Hashtag not my Spider-Man.
Yeah, pretty much. I still like when I got into that back and forth with the coworkers, like, I don't see the big deal of the Uncle Ben thing. It's like, it is,
Most
though.
fundamental.
It's kind of like how in The Man of Steel, how they're like, Superman's morality comes from his parents telling him to always help people and blah blah blah. And then in those movies, they have them say shit like, "You don't owe anybody anything,"
I mean,
where they just make them fucks.
considering the general like nature of the people in that universe, he probably doesn't owe him anything.
I mean, everybody in that universe is a fucking piece of shit. Because literally, one of my favorite posts I saw was someone say like, "Oh yeah, Batman vs Superman, Man of Steel respect their source material," and I'm just like, "Are you having a laugh? Are you laughing right now? Or you're joking with me, right?"
I mean,
Oh, I remember all those comics where Batman, modern comics where Batman grabbed a gun, or used his Batmobile to blow up people and shoot
I
people.
guess technically speaking, Black Panther is probably one of the most respectful to its source material movies out there. So, I mean, I can't say that anything they say directly contradicts the fucking douchebag Wakandans that I know and hate. Basically, they're just elves. And I've gone on record to say how much I fucking hate elves in fiction.
Pathfinder elves aren't bad.
I do not believe you. Every one of those pointy-eared fucks, even if they're space elves like Vulcans or some shit, are all the same.
They don't see themselves as above other people.
Elf lives don't matter.
So what you're saying is you play dwarves?
Not really, but it's like elves are so commonly in fiction just presented as relentless cunts.
Or they're just pretentious
or like so many of them, and it's like, I hate this race so much just because it's...
Or like in like Tolkien's universe, elves are just fucking overpowered.
Well, they don't do anything, so they can't be overpowered.
They should be overpowered, but Tolkien doesn't really do anything with them. Instead, he just has like a hobbit dick around for like a minute.
Sauron's even stronger. But what does Sauron do? He doesn't technically exist. He's like a disembodied spirit.
I can't hang out with the haunted eye. No, I don't know why.
So I guess Saruman is really the face of it, but he's gone by the third movie. So then it's just a whole bunch of random orcs and Uruk-hai. I wonder how they speak to Sauron.
Hey, Sauron!
Does Sauron like send little memos?
Hey guys, I got my memo from Sauron. He tells us that we just run at them with our clubs.
I mean, to be fair, that plan did almost work like every time. It was just magic bullshit saved them. Well, Gandalf saved them that one time. And then a fucking ghost army, and who could really see a ghost army coming?
Gandalf is what happens when a DM is like, alright, I'm gonna make a level 20 wizard that's gonna be a party ally, and then writes himself into a corner, and just like, and then Gandalf shows!
He only shows up the one time. And it is at least it's foreshadowed to say, oh, I'll come on this day, at this time. So go and look out for me. Like, it's not as if it's a complete assball. He does literally say the date and time he'll be coming.
That's true. That's true.
It's like, so, at least Gandalf's got that going for him. Ghost Army, though, is fucking inexcusable.
I like how he has a ghost army that he could use, and then he like lets them go. It's like, all right, you guys are done. You can go home now. It's like, wait, couldn't you use these guys right now? You know, for the army of orcs showing up.
Well, they did point that out, and then Aragorn's like, well, I only asked them to help us with this thing, and otherwise it would be technically going against my word, and that would not be the kingly thing to do. Maybe he's just super paranoid that if he does even the slightest thing wrong, everyone will just think it's Isildur 2.0.
I'm just upgrading Majima right now.
Good old Majima. Majima everywhere. But
Majima everywhere.
Don't worry, folks. When we get to this, we get to go to Injustice, and you get to listen to us complain more about comic books and storylines and comic book characters.
Yeah, we'll either do Injustice or we'll do A World of Light. I'm not sure.
I think Injustice would be better. It'd be quicker and it'd be a bit more focused. Whereas with World of Light, it will just take ages.
Yeah, it's like a 20-hour story
Yeah,
mode.
and you'll just be sat doing like fights against the AI and their cheating ways.
Oh yeah, because it's all like weird effects for the
Yes,
fights.
a lot of it is just kind of, do you have the spirit that counters this spirit? No? Well, fuck you then.
Oh fuck! I'm doing the Sarah fight.
Not Sarah, but then who is Jeff Goldblum gonna go and search for in Site B?
Sarah.
Sarah! Man, this amazing
I love that
Jurassic.
the baseball bat is just basic. I like how the baseball bat is just a free fucking heat move.
I mean,
Just like, oh, hold on, I have heat up. Let me just go to bat real quick and hit him.
It is a very nice bat.
It is. It's just funny that it's a free fucking heat move.
I mean, this is like mid to late game at this point. You should be getting OP as fuck now to deal with these street punks.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, this is also New Game Plus, so I'm already fucking bullshit.
Ah.
So all I did was make Majima more bullshit.
But yeah, my Kingdom Hearts replay through is going okay. Almost on Dream Drop, and then I just have to do the one game I've not actually played yet, which is 0.2.
Oh yeah, the one that was only in the pack.
Yes, because it was basically a last-ditch effort of Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming, we promise. Here is the here's basically a glorified tech demo for it. Please, don't forget.
Kind of like the Phantom Pain.
Well, the Phantom Pain just felt like, how can we trick people into thinking we're making a good game?
You know, you're right. Like I said, like I had fun playing it, but the fucking story is atrocious.
I mean, it reminds me of a point I made to my friend yesterday about how Seth MacFarlane is the world's most successful fanfiction writer of all time.
Oh? Go on, I need to hear
Family
this.
Guy, it's literally just a rip-off of Simpsons that only works because Simpsons lost its edge and stopped being... Because, like, Simpsons used to be all, like, very counterculture and all that shit, and then, well, Simpsons
They became the
every
culture.
culture, yeah. Shows up and it's basically what Simpsons used to be, but not quite as good.
Except now it's just like, just let's try to be shocking without like having an actual gag or an actual point to what we're doing.
So then
Let's just have our dog give a baby.
and now he's doing basically Star Trek.
Yeah.
It's like, man, world's most successful fanfic writer.
And the thing before it was held by the lady who did 50 Shades of Grey.
Hmm.
Because she's a pretty successful fanfiction
Yeah.
author.
But at least, like, the one thing she created was technically the thing she created was technically original, just came from unoriginal. Unoriginal like beginnings. Whereas Orville,
Well, basically they just changed the names. Pretty
yeah,
much.
but it's still like not exactly Twilight, though, is it?
Well, we know they changed the names, but it's curious as to what else they probably changed.
Probably got rid of the vampire stuff.
Well, yeah, obviously, because there aren't any vampires in that, I
I
think.
thought, as far as I was aware, it was just like a rich businessman who gets off on S&M.
I'm pretty sure that's all it is.
I know,
don't
it's just
I'd have to
basically
fucking read or
softcore
watch it, and I ain't
porn.
doing that. Yeah.
But the Orville is just like straight up Star Trek. Even has Star Trek actors. Something.
Ah, so he's not even being subtle
Oh no,
about
I
it.
think even Brennan Braga, who's like one of the right.
Then again, I'm not surprised. I think the words subtlety and Seth MacFarlane don't exactly go together.
I mean, I have no sort of like strong opinions on him either way because I'd never cared about Family Guy. And everything else he's done, I didn't watch.
Right.
But it's like, I guess it works by virtue of the fact that Star Trek has been destroyed anyway.
Yeah, what's a Star Trek? What's a Star Wars?
It's basically Star Wars, but oh right, did you hear about that? About how
What?
Disney actually made Star Wars lose money.
Oh, what'd they do?
Well, so they have to. So like Disney has to produce like financial records as part of like tax reasons, and they have
Right.
break it down by all of their departments, and they list what the departments do. So remember, the only department in Disney that didn't turn a profit was the department that works largely with Star Wars related products.
Oof.
And remember, this is technically in this.
So their animation, their theme parks, their live action, they all turned a profit.
They all make.
And obviously, their Marvel, of course, turned a fuckload of profits because they always do.
But with Star Wars, remember this is Star Wars. This fiscal year that this counted had 3 major Star Wars releases because it had The Last Jedi, it had Solo, and it had Battlefront 2. So with 3 large Star Wars products, and
they were all bombs.
Yeah. And
well, actually, Last Jedi did well sales-wise.
Merchandise-wise, though, it was fucking atrocious.
No. Yeah. Yeah, no, I've seen, actually, when I was at the store the other day, I saw, guess which character was in the clearance aisle?
Rose.
Yes.
It was between her or Holdo. Who really wants a Holdo action figure?
They probably produced so little of Holdo that they probably sold for, the 2 people that liked him.
No one liked Holdo. And anyone who does is lying so that they can defend this shitty movie because for some bizarre reason Last Jedi people just can't accept Last Jedi is awful. No, it's got themes. Really deep themes that it beats you over the head with.
It's about as subtle as Metroid Other M.
The baby. The baby.
The baby's cry. Remember the signal? The baby's cry.
It even starts from the fucking name. Other M, mother.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people. So for those of you who haven't figured it out, that's why people jokingly call it Mother M.
It's fucking.
The other thing, the scene I remember I snapped at when I streamed it was when they did the fucking bit where she starts explaining the symbolism of a thumbs up. Because apparently Sonic the Hedgehog runs the Federation, so there's to lose a thumbs up. So she's explaining the symbolism of a thumbs down. Now, when I mentioned that to someone, they're like, oh, maybe they were doing it because since it's a Japanese game, he was explaining it for, the Japanese audience. And then I was like, yeah, but she explains the symbolism of, a little parasitic creature eating a dead, bigger animal. So I don't believe that. That's what he was thinking. He's also the same guy who fired Samus's voice actress from Brawl, and then was Brawl in the Smash games, and then hired this lady, and then was directing her, even though he doesn't speak English. So he's directing a fucking guy, or a fucking girl, who speaks English when he doesn't speak English, which is why the voice acting is so fucking awful.
Princess!
Remember me?
So what's Metal Gear Solid 5's excuse?
For what?
It's questionable voice acting.
Oh, Kojima.
Well, that's okay.
Because we talked about this, Kojima would tell, for example, when they didn't get the original Ocelot back, he literally yelled at the voice actor for trying to voice in between young and older Ocelot, if you remember.
Poor Troy Baker.
If the voice actors tried to act out like the actor that they were, try to impersonate the actor they were replacing, Kojima would get mad at them and just tell them to do their own voice.
And then he told one guy to say such a lust for revenge.
Who? Wait, who's doing this?
It always makes me laugh. Without fail.
Wait, who's doing this? There's so many fucking hilarious lines in Metal Gear 5.
God.
It has the worst fucking lines in the entire series.
Skullface.
And they're all hilarious.
Yeah.
Skullface is also just a really fucking funny
He's also
name.
the worst.
Skullface.
I was there. Do you think anyone was supporting you on the mission where they literally told Naked Snake, yeah, you're not getting any support, it's just you?
It's kind of like, that one fucking, was it in Halo 5 when they added that character, where it's just like, oh yeah, he's always been here, and he's better than Master Chief and can beat Master Chief in a fist fight. They're basically him and Skullface are Poochie. Look at this character, he was always here, and look how cool he is!
Oh. It's kind of insane, really.
You know, the sad thing is, Smash Brothers does have a lot of Metal Gear 5 stuff, because Zeke and Sahelanthropus are in the Spirit Horde.
Probably by virtue of them having
fact,
a lot of
Zeke
easy-to-grab renders to use.
Like, Zeke gets used for, like, the first form, and then you upgrade him, and then he becomes Sahelanthropus. They have a lot of Metal Gear 4 and 5, and 3. They do have some 3. Like, Ocelot starts off as his 3 incarnation, then becomes his 4. Not 4, his 5 incarnation, not his 4th one. I wish it was the 4th one.
Snake!
I love Metal Gear 4 Ocelot. I love him so much. My favorite scene is the one where he's running away from Snake, running to his fucking airbase, and he just like turns around and points and laughs at his brother and keeps running. Like, it reminds me of grumpy old men but with giant robots.
My favorite is when he finger bangs the entire village.
Oh yeah, bang, bang. Oh yeah, actually, it's a fun side note in TF2. That bang is my hit confirm sound.
No.
So whenever I shoot somebody, I hear bang at various different pitches. My crit is wah, I believe. No, wah is Waluigi's wah is if I kill somebody.
Makes sense. Smash Bros. Kill Waluigi.
Was he ever alive? Exactly. So no loss. Is this loss? That's a meme that'll never die, and I'm okay with it.
Maybe one day it will die.
I hope not. I love that meme.
All memes must die. Such is the way of...
I don't know, how is Babby Form never died? It's still there.
It's only because it's not been aborted yet. I don't think it's quite reached its second trimester.
Thank God. I hope it never dies.
Abortion jokes, people. Keeping it classy.
Don't we
I mean,
always?
if you get upset about things like abortion jokes, well, I'm not sorry. I won't pretend. I won't waste people's time with an apology that everyone knows is untrue.
Yeah, don't lie to people. So I know you don't care.
I don't care, and that if they care, that's their problem, not mine.
Speaking of memes, though, I like the meme going around where it's the Sasuke getting choked one, and they just put other characters into it. My favorite one was Rolf from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
No.
He'll answer for your crimes. Stay outside of white bread. Like, fucking shit like that.
And Sasuke memes. What is this? 2004.
It was Sasuke getting choked specifically.
Man.
I saw people online though. Speaking of like Naruto stuff, they were bitching because there's so many Naruto characters in that Shonen Jump game that I'm not going to buy.
Are there?
Like they were specifically mad that Boruto was in it, and I'm like, why are you surprised that Boruto got in?
Yeah, he got a currently running series.
And it's really popular, whether we like it or not.
I've not seen it, so...
Neither have I. I can't say
I finished
Naruto.
I got to there and I was like, well, I'm glad to be done now.
The only thing I've seen from Boruto is like screenshots of back and forth between Sakura and her daughter, and it's one of my favorite things. Where Sakura's like, "Hey, I'm going to the store. Is there anything you want?" And she just goes, "Yeah, a father."
Well,
and I'm just like, dude. Good.
It's okay. It's that Uchiha savagery. Let's her kill her entire clan for the greater good. Because apparently none of them could be reasoned with. Every single one of them was determined, yeah, we're just going to kill everyone.
Listen,
All of
you're asking
them.
for logic in this fucking dumb-ass thing. Like, we could literally just turn this into, let's just quote Plague of Gripes making fun of various stupid decisions they make in Naruto. Because that could literally just become the rest of this conversation.
I mean, the problem with Naruto is it should never have got as popular as it did. And it only took off because I feel it just kind of hit that magic sweet spot where, like, suddenly the internet allowed for...
No. Oh, no. Naruto got popular because it was, like, a lot of people's first anime. It's similar to, like... So here's... I had this thought not too long ago. If Dragon Ball came out when we were older, say, like, when Naruto came out, rather than Naruto, we would probably be like, this is stupid. We wouldn't
Yes.
enjoy it. If Naruto came out at that time, we would be fans of Naruto.
But the trade-off is, though, that we have no idea what the landscape of, like, anime and manga would be in a world where Dragon Ball didn't come out till now. Because it's like JoJo in that
Because also, like, Dragon Ball was a big, like, was like a big contributor of getting anime popularized over here, along with Pokemon. And Pokemon were, like, two of the biggest contributors to getting anime, like, really popular with people who previously didn't really go to those, like, dusty video shops and pick out those weird fucking anime VHSs, not knowing what the fuck they're looking at.
it's just like it looks like a cartoon.
But because that's the era of the previous anime boom, which we're getting kind of another one here. I've noticed in the States, we've been kind of like in the middle of another
It's
one.
off the backs of, like, huge international success stories like Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, One Punch Man. You know, the kind of series that just get, like, really big so that even non-anime fans will go, oh, I've seen that. But I'm not aware.
Thankfully, people got bored of Attack on Titan after like the second season.
Unsurprising.
No, it's not. Attack on Titan.
All I'm saying is that it was still part of that whole, like, thing where everyone.
Oh yeah, no,
where people became like super, you know.
It was the Evangelion of that time, except for while the Eva creator, I like him. This guy is a fucking fascist.
I have nothing.
Or no, he's a war crime apologist.
I have nothing against Arno.
No, I like that guy because my favorite thing is when people are like, "Oh, isn't this so deep?" He's like, "No."
It's only deep because Arno's fucking depressed about it.
Oh, I was depressed about this. Oh, what about when you named this thing? Didn't you have like some deep meaning? It just sounded cool.
I just stole it from a book, okay? Do you want to know why I'm depressed? It's people like you.
Why did you call it Evangelion? There's some deep meaning? It sounded complicated and it was a Latin word, so I liked it.
That's okay, because Arno's finally got back to working on Eva.
I think my favorite thing, though, about him is like, was it Robot War? Was it Gynax was like, no Robot Wars, you can't have it, and then Anna's like, no, give it to them, or I'm not doing anything. And you're like, well, fuck, now we got it.
He said something like, he like, if they didn't allow like Shinji and company to like fight alongside Koji Kabuto, he would just quit.
But I think my favorite thing is my favorite thing about that is the fact that fucking Kira from Gundam Seed is such a little bitch. Shinji gave him a fucking slap. Yeah. My favorite thing is after like the initial time they use Seed in like in crossover games. After the initial time, they then every time they have to bring them back in, they just spend the entire time they're on screen just making fun of them. It's my favorite
honest, like,
thing.
Seed and like most Gundams at this point in Super Robot Wars at this point are basically just there because. It's like they get very little actual plot, very little things. They're basically there just to fill out the numbers. So, like,
Right.
V, for instance, like the UC crew and Seed crew just kind of show up, and they have like barely anything to do with any. Like the majority of the plot is like made up of Cross Ange, Might Guy. I mean, it made sense for those because they were like the debut series, but Cross Ange, Might Guy, originals, and fuck, who was it? Nadesco had us like Battleship Yamato. That was it.
They'll probably give G Gundam a bit though, because they're seeming to add a bunch of G Gundam characters this time.
Well, they've had that same number of people in J and they just kind of all putzed around, so we'll see, but if I had to
Okay.
say
I mean, hey, whatever. If
if
they're
I
in the
had to
game, so I can
say
still use
who I
them.
think is
So
going to be the primary focus of stories, let me pull up the list. Gunbuster probably won't be. It will probably be one of those.
she's usually just there
Well, I
because
mean,
she's
they only
there.
can have like 1 or 2 units from Gunbuster.
Yeah. So she's usually just there as like a number filler.
Uh,
Same thing will happen with Hikaru from Ray Earth. She'll just be a number filler.
uh, well, I'll tell you what they'll do. They'll just like meld Gunbuster and Robo's plots together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Sounds
it
about right.
probably is going to be Magic Knight Rayath will probably have a fairly decent chunk of the plot.
Oh, did they actually put more of the Ray Earth
Well, we
characters
know
in?
Red, Blue, and Green are all in.
Oh, okay, so the
Yeah,
trio
and
are
I
in.
think their
Okay.
villain is.
Oh yeah, and isn't their and our anniversaries coming up? Is
Also,
around the corner
Rayath is
too?
debuting, so
Yeah.
Arcadia, my youth might get, which I know nothing about because I think it's just a movie. That might get something. Expel from Paradise probably will. Gunnex Sword. I don't really know how much of that plot they can really do because it's so weird. Well, not weird per se, but very insular and focused. Nadesco, they'll probably do what they do always do, which is they'll spend like the first couple stages just doing the movie plot, and then fuck it, we have the Nadesco for the rest of the game. Because
Clearly, the plot will be around Space Runaway eating
Adion's
him.
not in this,
Clearly,
so no.
I didn't know if it was or not. I just wanted to make a joke.
Votoms probably won't get any plot because Votoms is. Oh, I'm sure they'll have stages where it's like, oh no, it's the bad guy from the Votoms, but nothing like super amazing. Probably won't do much plot for Gelgaigar just because it's not a whole lot to work with. But yeah, we'll see. I guess we'll see in a few months.
Yep. But clearly the plot will actually be about the original UC. Clearly, it'll all just be about Amuro.
It's all about Amuro, except for all the things that happen after he dies, like Unicorn and Victory and F91 and Crossbone.
If you look really closely, Amuro's still there. I'm kidding. I'm fucking around. I know some people are like, I want them to bring Amuro back, and I'm like, what are you gonna do with him? His character's done. Honestly, I'm fine with him being dead. He's done. Like, yeah, I get the idea of like you want a happy ending for a character, but like, there's no point. Like, his story's over. There's no point in bringing him back just for nothing.
Yeah,
I feel like him and
they
Char
are
are
dead.
done. They're done.
Yes.
And they went out perfectly. Their characters are done, and I don't want anything
There's
else
not much
from them.
more that can be done with them. Like
Yeah, like I love those characters, but I don't want anything else. I don't.
like they've already fought over the over their like surrogate mother figure that they both want to fuck.
Oh,
Yeah,
with Lala.
I mean that's what she is. Is like Shara even says she could have been like a mother to me, and it's like she's 17, man. Like
yeah.
I get you've had miserable childhood, but boo fucking who? In the words of Daredevil from the Daredevil Netflix show, oh whatever, you've got a tragic backstory. So does everyone. What he says to the Punisher.
Good. Fucking Punisher. Punisher is still like one of the lamest fucking comic characters to me.
Never forget, he started life as a B-list Spider-Man villain who shot people for littering.
Never forget. And/or
Yes.
jaywalking. He loved doing that. But yeah, I always just thought he was lame. Anyway, this is a good place to stop. I hope you guys enjoyed Yakuza Man, and I'll see you next time for more Yakuza Man. And by Yakuza Man, I mean us talking over Yakuza Man, because Zero has a good story. We're actually at the good parts of the Yakuza story now, but it's like, there was so much filler between. That's my. I mentioned this before. That's my kind of my problem with Zero is that there's just so much filler crap they put in, and it kind of like fucks with the pace of the story. Like it has a good story, but it kind of fucks itself over. Where, like, say, because I played Kiwami 1 and 2, I feel like
very interesting, but we are wrapping up here, so maybe save it for next week.
Yeah, if I remember. Have a good day.